There have been countless movies, books, and stories about creepy haunted dolls. On today's episode, I will talk about my experience with the doll shown in this video, an alleged haunted doll. A couple of weeks ago, a friend of mine had contacted me. She started the conversation off by saying, "You're gonna think I'm crazy, but I think a new doll that I have is haunted." She was right. I did in fact think she was crazy. She proceeded to tell me about her grandmother, who was a doll collector. The grandmother had collected hundreds of them over the years, and when the grandmother passed away, my friend inherited them all. My friend decided that she would continue her grandmother's collection, and then one day she could pass them on to her own daughter. My friend added a few dolls to the collection, but nothing close to as many as her grandmother had already collected. She told me that she came across one at a garage sale and bought it. She brought it home and placed it on the shelf with the many others. Now there are a lot of dolls on these shelves, and it would be very easy to miss a new addition. But for some reason, when her teenage daughter entered the room, she immediately noticed the new doll and stopped to stare at it. She promptly informed her mother that she did not like the new doll and wanted it gone. My friend thought that it was a very odd reaction to the new addition. My friend's daughter once again and very firmly said, "Mom, you have to get rid of that thing." My friend just shrugged it off. Within a matter of days, my friend noticed something strange. There were a few dolls that were out of place. They seemed to be moved around. Not only moved around, but a few of them were turned around backwards. Not only that, but the new doll was on the ground. She went to her daughter's room to address it. She entered her daughter's room and jokingly said, "Haha, nice try trying to scare me." Her daughter looked confused and said, "What did I do?" My friend told her daughter about the dolls, and they both went to inspect them. The daughter swore that she didn't touch them, and then accused the mother of trying to scare her because she mentioned not liking the new addition. After fixing the out-of-place dolls, they both went about their day thinking that they tried tricking each other. The following weekend, my friend's daughter was going out for the night for a sleepover. My friend was excited for a quiet night alone with her book and bottle of wine. Shortly after she was comfortable on the couch, her silence was broken by what sounded like faint shuffling. She put her book down and began slowly walking towards the sound. She also mentioned that she could have sworn that she heard the faint sound of whispering. As she got closer to the room where the dolls are displayed, she said that the sounds stopped. However, when she walked into the doll room, she was puzzled and yet slightly scared by what she saw. She told me that more of the dolls were turned around. She knows for a fact that this time her daughter was definitely not the culprit because everything was in place after her daughter had left for the sleepover. She started to doubt herself though and thought maybe she did turn them around in an attempt to scare me before she left. My friend quickly fixed the dolls while trying not to give it much thought in fear of giving herself the creeps. She went back to the couch to continue her book and finish her glass of wine. But not 5 minutes later, her silence was once again broken by a thump coming from the other room, the doll room. She got up to check it out, and to her frightened surprise, the new doll was laying on the floor. Not giving herself any time to process what happened, she grabbed the doll from the floor and put it in a box. The next morning is when she called me and told me what happened. She knows that I find these stories interesting, and she swore that everything she was telling me was true. I told her that I would come over and pick up the doll. I wanted to bring it to my own house to see if I could experience anything. Now, if you've listened to any of my previous videos, I've mentioned that I feel that I'm a skeptic believer. I know those terms contradict each other, but what I mean by it is that I want to believe in the paranormal, but there's usually an explanation for everything that happens. Even though I've experienced a few things that I haven't been able to explain, there must be an explanation. The mind is very powerful, and if you believe that you're experiencing something ghostly or paranormal, then you will easily convince yourself that it is true. I witnessed this many times while listening to people's ghost stories or seeing their pictures of alleged ghosts. The tiniest shadow in these pictures will have people believing that they see a face or a figure. But usually, the truth is, it's simply a shadow. Having said that, I have experienced very odd things in my own home that I have trouble explaining. There's enough that I could do another video on just the experiences in my own home. I ended up going to my friend's house to pick up the doll, and I brought it home. I tried putting it on a shelf and leaving it alone for a while to see if anything happened. Although I don't have any other dolls in my house that could potentially be turned around, I didn't notice anything else in the place either. I tried moving it around to different areas to see if I could get it to do something, but nothing happened. One night, I put it on the shelf in my living room and went to bed. When I woke up in the morning, to my surprise, I found that the doll was slightly moved. I could have sworn that I left it on a different angle. I wish I would have taken a picture of it before going to bed so that I had something to compare it with. It's still possible that I was mistaken and it in fact hadn't moved. I decided that I would leave it alone for a few more days. Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna... I guess if you're hearing this, I decided to continue recording. The doll just fell off my shelf. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to process this. So, the doll is sitting beside me, well, just over to my right-hand side, and it's on a shelf. Now, this is a sturdy shelf. The doll is on a sturdy stand. The shelf does not move. There's no wind down here. There's nothing. I'm nowhere near it. Nothing is near it that could move it. And it just fell off the shelf to the ground while recording this. I apologize for the change of tone in this video, but this has definitely surprised me. And I'm sorry, listener. I am going to cut this video off, and I think I'm going to have to give this some more time and do yet another video on this doll. Wow.